Why should you make getting your will or trust done your 2023 New Year's resolution? Hi, I'm Claire from the Yanowitz Law Firm, where we help families with wills, trusts, and probate, and we've been doing that for the last 29 years. So there's a lot of reasons why it's really important to get a will or trust in place. It's an easy thing to put off, or maybe you got one done, but it's been, half a century since you've looked at it. You did it when your kids were little, and a lot has changed since then. You really need to update it. So this year, I urge you to get your estate plan updated so that you can provide a tremendous amount of security for your family. There's a lot of reasons why an estate plan, having a will or trust in place, is so important, and I'm going to talk about them today in our video. First reason is it can create a lot of ease for your family when you pass away. And so I know that making things easy for your family is a real top priority for a lot of people. They don't want to be a burden. They want things to go smoothly at the time of death. It's already a stressful period anyway. And so having a will and trust in place if you have a trust in place, you can avoid probate, so you can avoid court involvement in your affairs. So that can be a really big priority for families. It can allow you to sell your property more quickly at the time of death. So, there can be a bunch of carrying costs associated with owning a home or a cabin. You have to keep paying those utility bills, property taxes. And if you don't have anything in place, it can take a lot longer to be able to sell that real estate. And also, if you're able to avoid probate, you can make it more private when you die, because if you have to go through probate, you have to submit to the court a petition, and the petition includes an inventory of what the deceased person owned at death, and that becomes a public record. So a lot of people don't like that part of probate. You also have to provide notice of the hearing in the newspaper and notice to certain family members and creditors and things. And so that whole notice process, oftentimes people don't like. So first major reason to get a will and trust in place is ease the burden at death, make it more streamlined, easier. Second is you want to pick where your property is going to go and who's going to act for you. This is your hard-earned money, and you need to be the one to decide who's going to get it at your death. And if you don't, there's some default plans in place on who will get your money, and that's not necessarily what you want to happen to it. So it's important to get something in place so that you can say what happens and who's going to act on your behalf. If you don't pick who's going to act on your behalf and something happens to you, you become incapacitated, or at the time of death, someone is going to need to be appointed to take care of things. And you don't get a say on who that person is unless you get a plan in place. So that's the second major reason why to get your plan in place for 2023. Another driving force of having a will or trust is to save on taxes. Oftentimes, people would prefer to pass more to their family, less to the government at death. And if you want to save on income taxes, estate taxes, that's something that our firm does. We help clients engage in certain techniques to help with that. Another reason why it's good to have an estate plan in place is you can make it so that the people who get your money at your death get it in a way that's protected from other people taking it away from them. So let's say you want to give your assets to your daughter, but in the event, she's got a rocky marriage with her husband, you don't want, in the event of divorce, that money to go to your son-in-law or your ex-son-in-law. And so if you have a plan in place, you can have beneficiaries inherit in trusts that can be protected so that in the event they get divorced, get sued, or go bankrupt, the money can be in a protected container. Another reason to have your estate plan in place is if you become incapacitated. We all hope that we never are at a point where we're not able to make our own financial decisions, but sometimes things can happen out of our control, and that could happen suddenly or through a diagnosis that kind of worsens over time. We kind of incrementally become more incapacitated, and it's very important to realize and focus that it can be sudden. So it's important to have a plan in place of who's going to act on your behalf, that they're trustworthy, that they understand your finances, so that they can step into your shoes in the event something were to happen. If you don't have that in place, then you can end up in court, where the court appoints a conservator on your behalf, and that conservator has to, provide an annual accounting to the court down to the penny. It's very expensive, cumbersome, a lot of work, and so that is never our preferred route to go. And then finally, oftentimes people want to get a plan in place to make sure their family's cared for. This can mean if you have minor children in your life, they can't inherit outright. You need to set up a plan where those people have someone else in charge of their money until they're of age, or maybe indefinitely if the person has various struggles. So we also set up lifetime trusts sometimes for beneficiaries who are disabled or struggle with chemical dependency or struggle with money, where they really need someone else in charge of that money, helping them pay their bills on their behalf and things. And so we can help with that. So lots of reasons to have your estate plan in place. Feel free to go to our website and read about what all the customers have said who have worked with our firm. And we hope to help you with updating your estate plan in 2023.